whatever it is, do everybody a favor in this world and just don't host a server. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is thebugsareblog, and we're going to talk about hosting a server. Now, before we get into this, I want to give you my background. I've run a Deus Ex server way back in the day from my own home on my own home PC. Yes, this is way back in the day. It wasn't nearly as much of a threat as it is these days, but we can talk about that in the future. Counter-Strike admin experience. I've been an admin in Counter-Strike as a teenager for many years. I was responsible. I've always learned to be responsible as an admin because you as an admin represent the community that you were being an admin for. Hosted an ARC server, ARC cluster, all noob friendly. We ran 5 servers. Hosting a server requires strategy. You're going to need to figure out funding. You want to know the demographic that you're trying to please. You want to know how to express your passion for the server in some sort of creative format. You'll need to build trust with your community. And most importantly, you must be responsive. So let's start with funding. Some server host, what you want to do is a virtual machine, or you have dedicated server. Dedicated server is generally going to be a box, like an actual computer that hosts the server, and that whole computer is yours. A virtual machine is what's going to be a computer inside of a computer. Technically, it's like a cloud computer. It uses different resources within that single computer that it's on. You end up sharing those resources with other people. So say this server has 500 gigs of RAM, right? You want 50 gigs of RAM on your server, 10% of the RAM on that server. 10% of the RAM on the computer that you're renting the server off of is being used by you. So if you have 9 other people using 50, now that server is at max capacity for RAM. You're probably not going to be able to upgrade. So if you think you're going to have a lot of people, or your game is going to be excessively demanding on resources, you might need to consider a dedicated box. There are all sorts of upgrades for both of these. I believe you would have more upgrades with your box because you'd be able to choose the operating system, be able to choose how much RAM you want. Usually you can choose the kind of processor you want, choose the location. Well, you can usually do that with a virtual machine too. But these are all things to consider. Don't forget to stay hydrated. I like to use an actual box personally to get my servers going. I have run off a virtual machine. I had my ARC cluster. I had 3 servers on my box, on the dedicated box. It was all mine rented. And then I had the 2 servers on the virtual machine. And I also put a Rust server on there at the same time. It's 6 servers between 2 servers. You get what I'm saying? But you'll be able to use RDP, which is like Remote Desktop Protocol, I believe it's called. You can use RDP to access virtual machines or dedicated box. That way you can use it like a computer at your house remotely. It's fucking awesome. So highly recommend getting something like that. I don't like renting servers from companies that go, here's the drop down menu, here's a drop down menu, here's all the cool features you can do. And it's like, no, I want to fucking edit files. I just want to go into the folder and find the file and edit it. So that's something to consider. How are you going to pay for this? The average virtual machine rental, or like I just explained, those little drop down box servers, they're like $5 to $20, I believe. You can pay like an extra $5 for DDoS protection. You want to get a dedicated box, that could cost you up to like $150, way more, $500 a month. So keep that in mind when you're renting a server, is how much money you're looking to spend. Because when that comes down to it, how will it be funded? Are you paying for it? Do you have X amount of dollars every month to spend? What if one month you won't be able to pay for it? What happens to the servers? Do you have crowdfunding? Do you have a Patreon to have people subscribe to go, hey, let me support the server so they can get some cool fucking perks? Which I highly recommend. Do not make your server pay to win. Oh, and by the way, if you don't like cursing, don't run a server. You'll probably curse a lot more than you ever thought you would. We'll go on to the second thing, creativity. Events. Highly recommend events. If you're going to hold a community server, an unofficial server of any kind, events are what keep your community a community. If there's any rewards you can give, like whitelist, maybe a special item, something that's not too OP, overpowered, whatever you want to call it. Nothing like that. But just give somebody that I want to participate in this shit. Yeah, you can make special houses, special coliseums, different events. We've had fucking jousting events in Ark. We've had dodo fights, all sorts of shit. Rust, you can make battle royales. You can do so much stuff. Just that noggin. Mods. Mods are like a DLC that you can add to your game, pretty much free of charge. They can change the way the game works, so they might break your game. So do your research. Don't just be like, oh, that mod looks cool. I'm gonna download it. No. Don't do that. Do not do that. Download mods with good reviews, active updates, a lot of downloads. Speaking of mods, we want to talk about modifiers. Modifiers change the game's base stats, like how much damage this bullet does, or how much wood you'll gather from that tree. These kind of things you want to advertise. People want to know, well, what did you change about the game on your server? Advertising. You need to advertise, and if you don't advertise, you get lucky if you grow. With that being said, make sure you have a good title. Make sure you have a good grab, a good hook on Reddit. Use a server page that you could use, like say arcservers.net, rustservers.com, whatever. Like all those boat websites, use them. People use them. People do use them because they look there for the reputation before they join. Be original. Don't host a vanilla server, because what's gonna happen is it's the same as official. So why the fuck would we want to play with you on your server with no changes? There's no edge except that you're the admin. What are you gonna do? Brings us to your demographic. What kind of community do you want? How are you gonna tailor the rules to get the kind of people that you're looking for? Where are the people you want to play on your server residing? Put your server in the middle of those people. So if you want to have a server that caters to most of North America, put a server in Chicago. It tends to Canada, it tends to North America, or the United States, forgive me, or it tends to Mexico. No brainer. Great location. Exclusivity. Is your server going to be password protected? Is it going to be public? If it's going to be password protected, how are they getting in? How do they get the password? Now we get to trust. Consistency. Do not drastically change your server without any warning. Your community needs to know, because if it's not consistent, they're gone. They don't know when you're going to change it again. Like knee-jerk reactions, fuck that. Nobody likes that. Make sure the punishments that are being handed out are equivalent. Don't let this guy use this exploit, and then that guy used that exploit, and then this guy gets a kick, that guy gets a ban. That's not fair. If they've both never done anything, and that's both their first issue, if your whole thing is to ban them, then ban them. Ban them both. If your whole thing is to kick them, then kick them both. Do not ban somebody simply because you do not like them. Bad. Transparency. You need to make sure that whatever you're doing, your community knows what you're doing. You don't want to just do weird things, make people question, what the fuck is this guy doing? You're going to go fly around the map, be sure to tell people, hey, I'm flying around the map. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. Don't just let them see you fly over their head. Nobody wants to see that. Give a warning. Don't teleport to people. Don't just slay people. Don't abuse your admin privileges. That being said, not anyone should be an admin. Somebody you trust that knows the game and knows the community, and the community knows them. Do not just throw an admin in. Oh yeah, you want admin? Sure, take it. You are on a one-way road to failure. Favoritism. This one is huge. If you, or any one of your friends, can come on your server, get away with breaking the rules, or exploiting or cheating, whatever it is, do everybody a favor in this world and just don't host a server. Finally, we come down to responsiveness. In responsiveness, you need to have admin availability. You don't always need to have an admin on the server, but you need to have somebody available on Discord during peak hours. And not even just peak hours, you need to have somebody available off peak hours. You should always have somebody on during peak hours, especially if the server's popping. And even if the server is not popping, it's good to have the admin there because it looks like the admin is active. People like active admins, especially when they're not pieces of shit. You should also know when to respond. Don't just respond to the same guy always saying, oh, this guy's cheating, oh, this guy's cheating. If somebody's gonna keep crying wolf, fuck them. Punish people who waste admins' times. I do not believe in the ticket system. I think it's just stupid and it makes me feel like a fucking number. I like to feel like I'm a part of the community. When I play on another server, if there's a ticket system, fuck that, because I've waited 2 days for a response. That's bullshit. But yeah, all in all, I hope all this information has been, helpful for you. Especially if you yourself think you're going to host a server or you're interested in owning a server. I hope this at least guided you in the right direction. Brought some things you never even thought about up. If there's any other topics, especially regarding server hosting, anything like that you'd like to ask me, I'm not like a tech guru or anything like that, but I do understand people and I'm good with them. So I can generally maintain a community pretty well. That being said, if you want to be a part of my community, I currently have a 7 Days to Die server that you're more than welcome to play on. It's not my server, but it's somebody in my community server and I have sponsored it. So I will put a link in the description below if that's something you're interested in. Also, if you want to check out the rest of my community, we have a lot of games that we're involved with. I'm a variety streamer. I make a variety of YouTube videos. I make a variety of music. I'm everywhere. Check out my YouTube, obviously, my Twitch, my SoundCloud, my Patreon, my Twitter for updates, my Discord, which is in the description, and my Snap, my Instagram, whatever you want. I'd be happy to hear from you. But until next time, I do thank everybody for watching. Peace out.